following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.
This isn't just a game. This is iRacing. The countdown is on to the playoffs. It is 6 races after tonight, but we go to arguably one of the fastest tracks in all of racing. It is a track that, if you are very conservative and just go out there thinking nothing can go wrong, you'll end up on your lid. Ask the cars this weekend as we welcome you into the virtual Michigan Speedway here at the Simulator of iRacing. It is race number 21 of the Sim500 NC811.org Xfinity, or make that the Cup Series. I'm still a day behind, but it's okay. But we're getting ready for 250 miles. All right, can I start the intro over? I'm kidding. No. 250 miles and 125 laps ready to go here on the Captain eSports Network as we welcome you in on this Monday evening. The Captain with you, of course. My compadre, Mr. Kevin England, joins us here. And Kevin, obviously, tonight, as I look over here at the numbers, this is the 10th, make that 11th trip to this 2-mile speedway on the Cup side. There was 3 trips to the old 2009 oval, and then they brought the new one in, and this is the 7th trip. We've had 6 new winners. Now, there's a win streak that has been well talked about of Mr. King. And if he wins tonight, it would be the 7th win in 8 races here in this series. Do we see that potentially happening here tonight? Do we see somebody playing spoiler? But, I mean, I think we're in for a wild race no matter what here in Michigan.
I think I'm going to go the other direction this week, which is okay. Kevin King's going to win.
He's going up.
But
George Costanza.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. But
somebody open the door. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Shut the door, will you? Come on.
Live TV, you gotta love it. But we're streaming, whatever you want to call this. But
they got it. No, here's the sensibility that I have.
Hey, can you shut the door?
You think about Daytona. You think about Talladega. You think about the new Atlanta. The opportunity opens the door for people who don't generally win to be there, to put themselves in the position to get the victory, surprise, winners on the season. Happens in the real world, happens in the sim world. If you want to take the characteristic of that track, those tracks, the ability to win, and look at any other place, well, we don't have Fontana anymore, but we have Michigan. And Michigan, you ride in tight packs, you ride close to each other. And it's the type of racetrack with wide sweeping turns, very fast corners. You're right on top of each other. The draft is in play. I think it lends itself to what you discussed on the intro, which is anybody could win. And I don't mean that like it doesn't take skill. Of course it does. But all the drivers are talented here at Sim500. And I think when you go deeper in the pack, all those drivers who are hungry, this is one that they've got circled. This is one where someone could sneak out of the middle of the pack and get a victory here.
Very valid points there as we enter this race tonight. Again, 6 races before the playoffs kick off. And let's pull up the point standings here because qualifying is going to begin here in about 2 minutes. Kevin King leads, obviously, with 10 straight wins. He has been the dominator here on the series, but Mike Kelly, who is having a career season, He is, he fell to third in points last night in the Xfinity Series, but is within 2 of the championship going to Homestead next week, but sitting here second in points here. Tyler Dalton, Chad Coleman, Jose Gonzalez, your top 5, but you go down there to the bubble at 20th position. Mark Jorgensen has kind of put some distance on Rod Alasso. Brian Wortman has now slid into the picture. Robert Friary to third, but the numbers you need to look at are these numbers, say where Kevin Brown, Eric Arnold, Mark Jorgensen. You see these numbers, if this starts, becomes less than the races counted, basically, that eliminates them from the playoffs. So this here, with potential work getting in the way or anything happening, forbid anything happening like that to somebody, could eliminate some drivers from playoff contention when it's all over with. Look down here, Joe Hudson, for instance. He's only made 13 starts. So Joe Hudson's not eligible for the playoffs. Cody Giles, same position. Brian Macklin, same position already here. So a lot of things can happen here in the point standings, and that's basically because you cannot miss more than 4 races here during the season. All right, so last night I spared the conversation about fuel mileage because we had a 150-lap race at Iowa, and we went caution-free and pitted, between laps 75 and 90, basically, which took that out. I didn't even have to mention a word. And that was because I kind of, we do the trick of saving tires from one race and try to bring them to the next race. We try to do that on iRacing, but it just doesn't work because you're not allowed to, and there's no way to do it. I saved all my talking about gas for tonight because Michigan, as I've said 100 times, it's probably an idiotic phrase to say, but you know what? Prove me wrong when I say this. You could have an all-electric car race here at Michigan, and it turns into a fuel mileage race because it just seems to happen. Tonight, 125 laps. We get pit stops around, lap 45 to 50, probably more 43 to 47, somewhere in that range. So it sounds like a simple 2-stopper, but it just seems like, Kevin, things just fall into place here, and all of a sudden it's a fuel mileage race.
I just am not sure what kind of race we're going to see tonight. I'm not clear if we're going to run on top of each other or we're going to conveyor belt and get into tire conservation, fuel mileage. I'm not sure if drivers are going to shift. I'm not sure if they're going to run the low line, the high line, the middle line. I'm not sure if they're going to run down to the front. And the reason is this racetrack is so diverse. You could put the race car anywhere. Ran 200 miles here last night, or 200 laps. And I have to say, I was Kyle Larson line up against the outside wall, and I was hugging that yellow line like I was strapped to it. So we'll just have to see how the dynamic wears out as qualifying out on the speedway. And let's see if Mr. King can win another pole.
That would be pretty big for him as, cars are out on track. Qualifying presented by 811. Notes below and call before you dig. As the 51 of Justin Fuller, the winner last night at the Iowa Speedway, out on track and jumped up into the points lead in the Xfinity side by 2. We got 3 guys next Sunday night. I invite you to watch this at Homestead. 3 guys within 2 points running for the championship at Homestead next week. It is going to be one of the closest battles potentially in Sim500 history that we get to see next Sunday night as we ride with Fuller down the back straightaway here. This 2-mile oval, 18 degrees of banking, which is the equivalent of Chicago. Now that lower groove, which is between the yellow line and that seam basically, is actually a lower degree of banking. Now how much is it and why they do that? You let me know if you find out. But it's slower way around is Justin Fuller 40.0. Doy Woods, who's running the 00 this week, 39.54 is up there on the pole right now.
I must say they did that for IndyCar. I don't know why that comes to brain. They changed the banking.
Maybe. I honestly don't know why they did that. It's been like that forever, ever since Michigan was built. And of course, it was built back in the 60s. Roger Penske helped build this track, which I guess would make sense about the whole IndyCar theory too. But as you see, cars crossing the line here for the second time. Gonzalez with a 34. Jorgensen 39.47. Fuller 39.45. Dalton 39.24. As look out, here he comes. Shall we ride on board with the number 29? See what kind of speeds he pulls up. This is
wiggling down the backstretch trying to get a little heat in the tires. I could see that from my sunglasses. The car is so bright.
I like that paint.
Yeah.
Cool.
Reminds me of an 80s party.
Don't put the shorts on there. Do it. 94 miles an hour down the road. Barely off the throttle, back to it. Right on that scene, which is exactly the fastest way around here, around that bottom. Track a little bit roughly, but single car, you want to be brake as far down as you can. That light, run off the gas, and go back to the top side here.
He's got a Kyle Norris.
Going right lap. Because I'm seeing the second lap's the fastest, so he's going to get the run off the corner here.
You can run fast up there, though.
True.
It's interesting that he chose that to build the speed.
It's Kevin right now from 19th fastest, 39.6. He's got to pick up exactly 4/10 of a second. Mon's out on track there. McNeil, Chad Coleman, Simmons over in laps. King is only green through 1 and 2. And look at this, goes right down to the yellow line.
39.247 is the target he's trying to hit here, pulled by Tyler Dalton. On the white line right to the grass as he goes across the stripe and
Got it. 21.
Bingo.
Wow.
39.214 at the stripe to a 39.247. Where's Jorgensen? He's in fourth. Not going to start outside pole here today.
Valentoni.
As we still have cars out on the racetrack. 41 across the line.
Mon's going to cross the line now. You got Seth Fowdy still out there in the track in 11. Here he is.
On slots in 13th.
And time's going to run out right now as qualifying will end. And we will go trackside for the playing of our national anthem. Which, by the way, we should mention 811. Big shout out to them for sponsoring the qualifying. But now the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the